Welcome. In today's tutorial we're going to go over how to set up the geofencing location within your software. So we log in from our dashboard. We want to go to configuration, company setup, and geofencing locations. Now I've got one set up here already. To add another one or a new one, we need to click on the plus in the upper right. That's going to bring up a map of wherever our computer thinks we are. And if you know where the location is and you can navigate through the map and find that, to make it larger, I press Control on my keyboard and then scroll my mouse wheel up, and that's going to make things a lot bigger. So if I know that we're over here on this street and this is the building, I can double click and that puts this bouncy dot in here. I'm going to give it a code. I may use the address like 1234 and then the description 1234 West Fake Street, whatever works best for you, or a client name, or anything that you can identify this particular area with. Now we need to have a radius around this, and usually 0.02 is a good one to start with. That may be too big for the area you want, so we might do 0.01, and that looks good, but you could do 0.001 or things like that. Just remember that not all phone carriers are the same, not all phones are the same. The GPS satellite up there is a civilian satellite, so it's got between a 50 and 100, 200 foot hit or miss range. So by that I mean someone could be standing right in the middle of this circle, but their phone thinks they're over here. So how big you make this radius depends on how well it works. If somebody's having a trouble, you've got one person standing at the desk and they're fine, another one right next to them and they're not fine, you may need to increase the radius just a little bit. Now once you have this in like you want, you would just click save. The other way to do this is to put an address into your browser, and that's going to bring it up, and you just click. I'm just clicking right here. Now, yes, I could get an idea of what this map looks like and try to duplicate the other. I'm lazy, so I'm going to do this a little bit differently. Right here after the @ symbol and all this gobbledygook is the first number we need. So I highlight it and select copy, and we'll click the plus. And that's where we're going to put our latitude. And I just press Control and the letter V. You could also have right clicked and pasted. Now we need our longitude. I'm going to go back up here to this map, and there's a comma right after this number 8, and then it starts -111, and there's a comma there. I want to go from the comma to the next comma. Commas are going to be on the outside. And then I'm going to copy this, go back, and paste that in the longitude. and then I'm going to click down here on my radius. We see my maps changed. I can at that time press the control on my keyboard and then my up on my mouse wheel. Move this over here and bring that in to see a little bit more, and then decide what I want my radius to be, and that would just encompass this, or maybe I want to go a little bit larger. So if all that looks good, I'm happy with it. And you know, you've got satellite here, which is going to turn that into this type of view, whatever works easiest and best for you. But I'm going to go ahead and click save. Save successfully. Okay. Now this works with the mobile profiles. So when I go to configuration, time clocks, mobile profiles for employees, and any of these that have enforced geofencing, they would be required to be within that circle, or any other of those locations circles that you have listed, before it would let them clock in. So if we look here, we're not enforcing. So any employees that we do not need to enforce the geofencing, they could be on this policy. And we could have a different policy. This one's switching departments. This one's not even geofencing, so if we needed to, we can name it. And whatever we needed to do, normally I'd just take a snapshot of those and copy things over, clock in and out, enable lunch, enable geofencing. View the last punch should always be there. Duplicate punch tolerance should be at least a 1. Whether or not you require them to have a minimum amount of minutes for lunch before they can clock back in from lunch would depend or determine whether you put something in here. Enforce schedule, if I want them to only be able to clock in and out around their schedule, and then the grace in and grace out are the number of minutes before their schedule I would let them clock in, and the number of minutes after their scheduled day ends that I would allow them to clock out. So that's kind of what these are for here. That all looks good. I save it. At this moment, I can assign employees from here by clicking assign employees. I can go by maybe just a project, and maybe the GEN contractors, general contractor team, which there's nobody in that. Exercise team. Admin, there we go. So we've got 2 people in the admin. I could just choose them and click confirm, or I could leave these alone and just click filter. All my employees show up. I can then just go in, select who I want, click confirm, are you sure, and click OK. And that would assign them. Alternatively, you can go to their employee details one by one, edit, and here is the mobile profile. We could click that down, and there's the one we just made. Select that, and we would come down and select save. So that's all there is to the geofencing and making sure those are attached to the mobile profile. I hope this helps. Have a great day.